Good morning. I have been a busy bee already today. I mean, I haven't done that much, but I woke up, went to the chiropractor, got all crack-a-lackled, and then I just went to the grocery store, got some groceries because I am running low on edible things in my house. And now it's finally time to go home and make some breakfast. I am quite hungry, and today I'm taking you through a full day of eating to support my fitness goals. So I'll walk you through what that looks like, what I take into consideration in my diet, and all of that good stuff. But first, like I said, I'm hungry. So let's go make some breakfast. I caved. I was passing one of my favorite coffee shops on the way home and I just couldn't resist. So we're getting coffee. This is exactly what I needed. And finally, breakfast is served. For breakfast, I have some kale massaged in olive oil, salt, and pepper with some sweet potato baked with olive oil and on the same pan as the bacon, so it's got a little bacon flavor baked in there, and then some hard-boiled eggs and some bacon. So my current fitness goals slash like where I'm at on my health and fitness journey is, number one, my main focus, I guess, is trying to work on, improve, solidify my running form. If you've seen my videos of me running, you'll know what I'm talking about. My form does not look pretty. So for a while now, I've been running 2 to 3 miles, 2 to 3 days a week. And the plan for now is kind of to stick with that distance slash intensity. And the big reason that I'm not trying to push that more right now is that, as I told you guys a couple weeks ago, I just started working with a chiropractor to help correct some of my structural imbalances in my spine, which are just so bad. And I asked my chiropractor like what exercises were safe while I'm in the process of realigning and rebalancing my body and stuff. And essentially the takeaway was, don't push yourself too much, don't be trying to aim for PRs, just kind of aim for maintenance. So I figure within that, the more I run 2 to 3 miles, the easier it's gonna start to feel to a certain extent. So I'm kind of just keeping up with that, and then overall just focusing on mobility and ease of movement with my body. And then aesthetically within this, my goals are to maintain as much muscle as possible, and if possible, recomp my body, like build a little muscle, lose a little fat. Like if my body fat percentage were to go down 1 or 2%, I wouldn't complain. I'm not happy with my body by any means. Like I'm perfectly happy with where I'm at. But like if it just were to go down 1% or 2%, I wouldn't complain, you know? Now that I am fed, it is time to be watered. I've been adding lots of fun things to my water lately, mostly because I got a water filter that filters out literally everything. So if I want electrolytes and minerals, I have to add those back in. Oh, I almost spilled. So I'm adding in some electrolytes with this guy. I hate plain water. Like I have always struggled to drink enough. Like if I get thirsty, my go-to is to reach for a kombucha, but I can't be doing that every time I'm thirsty. I can't drink 10 kombuchas a day. So I've been adding fun stuff in. Then I always add in Symbiotica vitamin B12 and vitamin D, or I swap one of these out and add their adrenal support tonic, depending on how I'm feeling. If I feel like my adrenals need a little support, I'll use that instead. But for the most part, especially when I'm having it towards the beginning of the day, I'll do the B12 and the vitamin D. B12 is an essential nutrient in, I can't count and speak at the same time. What was that? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. B12 is an essential nutrient in red blood cell formation and cellular metabolism and a lot of other things. Basically, if you're deficient in B12, you might feel more fatigue. And especially if you're vegetarian or vegan, your diet is likely not very high in the B vitamins, and so taking a B vitamin complex can be really beneficial. And then vitamin D, I feel like everyone knows that it's necessary and essential. What? Come on. Vitamin D, which our bodies can naturally synthesize through sunlight, or you can take a good quality version that your body can actually absorb, unlike a lot of vitamin Ds where it's not really bioavailable, but it's very anti-inflammatory, it's an antioxidant, it has neuroprotective abilities, and it potentially is also really helpful for my skin. I noticed during the summer when I can get outside and actually get a lot of like natural vitamin D, it helps my skin a lot, but lately it has been raining a lot. The UV levels outside have been quite low, so the potential to actually absorb natural vitamin D, very, very low, which is why I have been supplementing with Symbiotica's vitamin D. And this has been one of my daily hydration beverages. But if you are looking to spice up your water or just take really good quality supplements because you are either deficient in something or you need something to support your body a little bit better, I highly, highly, highly recommend looking into Symbiotica supplements. You guys know I've been using them for a very long time, and that's because their quality is just impeccable, and that's something that matters a lot to me personally with the supplements that I take. Like, I don't want to waste my money on a supplement that's lower quality, that has other stuff added to it that is gonna not benefit my body, that is gonna like be the opposite of beneficial for my body, and just has lower absorption rate. When you buy cheap supplements, you're getting a cheap, low quality product, and that often means there's a lot more fillers and you're not going to absorb as much. So it's really worth investing in higher quality supplements because your body's going to be able to absorb and utilize so much more of the supplement. So you're getting more for your money when you are investing in higher quality supplements. So for example, Symbiotica's vitamin D is a plant-based vitamin D that's produced without any solvents, which, I mean, when you get into like how vitamins and minerals are like manufactured and processed, the kinds of things that certain companies use to get the vitamin out of the thing that they're sourcing it from, like that in itself can just add so many not great things into the supplement. But they don't use solvents, there's no pesticides used, like it's a very pristine vitamin D. And then they also combine it with K2, which works in conjunction with D3 in the body. So again, you're going to be getting more out of the vitamin D because they have added K2 to it. And then it's also liposomal delivery, which again is going to enhance absorption. So they really think about all of their supplements from all angles and how to maximize bioavailability, absorption, and essentially the efficacy. And what liposomal delivery essentially does is you take the vitamin and then you package it in a liposome, which is the thing with the phospholipid bilayer around it, and it protects it as it goes through the system and gets to where it needs to be. And what this essentially means is that you absorb more of it and you're able to utilize more of it. So again, highly, highly recommend checking out Symbiotica supplements. As always, I have a discount code. It is now updated to FIT20 for 20% off, which is very exciting. It was 15 before, so now you guys get a little extra 5%. I'll leave a link down in the description box below. Go check it out. So in January, I launched my new free wellness challenge called 35 Thrive. If you want to know more about it, I'll leave a link to that video down below, or you can go to 35thrive.com to sign up. But when I launched it, I didn't personally start doing it. I was working on a couple other things and I was just not in a place to start it. But now I am in a place to start my own challenge. So I started 35 Thrive 2 days ago. I am on day 3 of my own challenge, and I am very excited to be doing this because I think with where I am right now in my journey, I think it is going to be really beneficial for me. It's going to add a lot more structure, and it's going to help me with a lot of things that I have kind of been working on already. So if you haven't seen my video on it, the premise for 35 Thrive is there's 5 things that you have to do every day for 35 days. One is doing 30 minutes of exercise, and I break down what that means in the video, and if you sign up for the challenge, I break it down in like emails and stuff, because that can include literally like stretching for 30 minutes. It doesn't have to be intense exercise every single day. That would be ridiculous and not a wellness challenge. But essentially you have to do like 30 minutes of intentional movement every day. Second thing is you eat only whole unprocessed foods. And again, I break down that definition in the video, but essentially just means foods that you could in theory make yourself without like industrial machinery or any food that we would have had access to like a couple hundred years ago. Then you also have to go to sleep 9 hours before you have to wake up. You don't have to sleep for the full 9 hours. If you wake up earlier than that, that's okay, but you have to give yourself a 9-hour window to sleep. You have to write down 3 things that you are grateful for every day, and you have to limit your social media use to 1 hour per day. So through this challenge, you're approaching your wellness from all angles. You get exercise, nutrition, sleep, stress, mental health, and so the goal is to make it just a well-rounded wellness challenge to overall boost your health so you can be more productive, have more energy, generally feel better, be able to get more done. So the goal is by the end of the 35 days, you feel kind of as good as possible, like at least as good as you could feel in a 35-day transformation, to really get a solid foundation that you can build off of and have a solid understanding of what it really feels like when you have all of those different pillars of health and wellness very aligned. So I'm really excited about it. I would love for you guys to join me. If you haven't signed up for the challenge yet, now is the time so that we can all go through this together. So if you want to sign up, again, it's 35thrive.com. You can also check out my full video about it if you have questions or thoughts, like before you actually want to commit to signing up. But again, it's completely free. You just have to put in your email and you will get emails and you are doing the challenge. So very low commitment to sign up. I think it's worth it. So I think it is time for a little snack. I found these chips at the grocery store the other day. You guys know me, I don't get a lot of chips, but I went to the grocery store hungry and these jumped out at me, and they're compliant with the no processed foods rule for 35 Thrive because they're literally just sweet potato, avocado oil, and sea salt. So I could literally make these myself if I wanted to put in the time and effort. Like, I literally have all these ingredients in my own house right now.
I could make them.
But this is so much easier. So I'm just gonna have some of these, and then I have some blueberries.
I'm gonna eat as many of these as I can fit in my wee little tum-tum.
But anyway, I wanna make it clear that, like, while I am doing 35 Thrive and I am not eating processed foods according to the rules that I set forth in 35 Thrive, I am not restricting beyond that by any means. So I am still having chips. These chips are compliant because it's something that I could easily make for myself and could have been made hundreds of years ago, but they are still chips. Like, I wouldn't necessarily say like a fried food is helpful for your health, but the rules for 35 Thrive are not to eat only the healthiest foods. They are just to cut out the processed foods. I got a question from someone on Instagram when I said that I was doing my own challenge, asking whether or not I was also going to do a caffeine detox in conjunction with 35 Thrive, or like make it part of the challenge, and clearly not, because I did start my day with a coffee. This is where I see so many people go wrong in this kind of challenge, or kind of any fitness challenge, is looking at the rules and then adding 10 extra rules and making it 10 times harder on yourself, and then failing because of that. And even not when it comes to challenges, just when it comes to a fitness or fat loss journey as a whole. Like, I can't tell you the number of times I've had clients that I'm working with one-on-one, and I'm like, okay, like, you have 3 things that you need to do: eat more vegetables, eat more protein, and exercise, or whatever. And they come back to me and they're like, Marissa, I failed. Like, I ate pizza. And I'm just like,
when did I tell you you couldn't have pizza?
Like, you are placing these artificial rules on yourself that are not actually gonna help you get to your goals any faster. And so you're just making it harder on yourself because you think you should do these things. So no, I am not restricting in any way, shape, or form beyond the actual rules of 35 Thrive, because it's a lot easier to add 5 things, get used to that, build that into your lifestyle, build it into your habits, and then add more, rather than trying to do it all at once. It is time for my daily exercise. Today in my weekly workout plan is my yoga day. If you want to see the weekly workout plan I've been following, I made a video about it in like December. It's my like running plan. I'll leave a link to it. But the plan for today is to do like 20 minutes of yoga and then about 10-ish minutes of my exercises from my chiropractor, because I need to get those in, and I have been not getting them in as regularly as I would like to, so I'm trying to actively make it a part of my actual like exercise routine rather than treating it as an add-on. So let's do this. kombucha, by the way, in case anyone thinks I'm actually just drinking wine out of a can in a glass. And it is dinner time. I have white rice cooked in this kettle on fire bone broth. It's a lemongrass ginger beef flavor. And then with that, I have a ton of roasted veggies. It's roasted carrot, delicata squash, broccoli, and leftover roasted sweet potato from breakfast. And then I made lamb sirloin. Top that with a little teriyaki sauce from Primal Kitchen, which, if you read the ingredients, is compliant with 35 Thrive, which is nifty because I am so lazy. I
Do not want to make my own sauces.
I will just eat plain food before I make sauce. So for dessert, I was planning on making myself a little mug cake, but honestly, it's late and I would rather spend my time tonight enjoying some like painting time to just quiet my mind and zone out for a bit rather than spending more time in the kitchen. So instead, I am having Jack's Bakery Lemon Zing cookies, which are miraculously also compliant with the 35 Thrive requirements for not processed foods. Am I cheating my own system a little bit here? Maybe. Do I care? No. I make the rules. These are the rules that I laid out. I'm following the rules. And for anyone else wondering, yes, like these are compliant, totally have them. Like all of these ingredients are ingredients. I could literally just combine them myself and make this into a cookie. There's no like fillers, preservatives, gums, anything in these cookies. They're actually amazing. Unfortunately, the chocolate chip ones, not compliant. These ones and the snickerdoodles are good to go. But anyway, the big things that I'm focusing on nutritionally to help with my fitness goals, which was the whole point of this video. I feel like I've just rambled for the whole day. The three like big things that I'm focusing on are number one, protein, because like I said, one of my big goals is to maintain as much muscle as possible. If I were to grow muscle, great, but like I'm not training in a way right now that's really gonna elicit a lot of muscle growth. But to maintain as much as possible, I need to really be prioritizing protein, especially now that I'm adding in more cardio, adding in more catabolic activity. Protein in itself is anabolic and it's also the building blocks of muscle, and so you need to be consuming enough to maintain muscle. And then the second big focus is just eating enough in general. If I were to start running and accidentally not be eating enough, so be putting myself in a calorie deficit, I'd be a lot more likely to start losing muscle mass, because when you're in a calorie deficit and you're doing an activity that is catabolic, meaning it breaks down tissue, your body's not going to want to hang on to muscle. Muscle is heavy, it's energy expensive, and so your body isn't gaining anything by holding on to muscle. So your body's going to start getting rid of muscle to get you out of that calorie deficit, because your body doesn't really want you to be losing weight. And so what you often see that turn into is a more skinny fat physique. Nothing against it. If you want that look, go for it. It's just not for me. I'd personally rather just be leaner, see a little bit more muscle definition, and also hang on to some of the curves. So that said, it's been a long time since I've done this, but I am getting back into tracking my macros pretty loosely. I'm not really aiming for like super specific numbers and like trying to hit numbers. I'm more checking in with myself regularly, and I'm not tracking every day, but I'll just like track on and off to make sure that my natural diet is gonna be within the range that it needs to be to accomplish what I'm trying to accomplish. So essentially just checking in to make sure that when I'm just kind of eating more intuitively, I'm getting enough protein and I'm just eating enough overall. And I think tracking for me right now with these goals is especially important because I haven't really run regularly before. I know that I am currently burning more calories than I'm used to. And so I could see it being very easy for me to eat the way that I normally do, but be burning more because I've added a lot more cardio, end up in a calorie deficit long term without really realizing it, and then end up losing muscle. So at this point, I'm basically tracking to not restrict, like intentionally not restrict. So make sure I'm not in a calorie deficit and make sure I'm eating enough overall. And then last thing I'm doing, but this is something that I kind of always do, is just prioritizing whole unprocessed foods. A, because now I'm doing 35 Thrive, but I was before. But also B, just because I live by the philosophy that like food is fuel. The better quality your fuel, the better your body is going to function. And I just want my body functioning well, and that's going to contribute to like better movement. Like lower inflammation means my joints are going to be moving better, means I'm going to be less likely to develop a running injury. And I do recognize the irony of me saying that while I sit here eating cookies, but it is what it is. in case anyone is confused as to why I'm making my tea in 2 different jars, it's just because there was only a little amount of honey in here. So I put the hot water in to just melt all the honey to get literally every last bit out of the jar. So I told you guys in my last vlog that I recently redid this whole office space with the goal of being able to do more floor sitting as I work. And so that is what I am doing right now. Getting in my floor time. Just like babies need tummy time, adults need floor time. I honestly don't know what tummy time is for babies. I don't have a child, but I am an adult, so I need my floor time. I also recently acquired these floor pillows from Facebook Marketplace. Right now I'm sitting on a little poof. Anyway, the last thing that I am working on now before I get ready for bed is redoing my workout program, because I've been doing the same program that I wrote for myself for at least 2 months, and I've been ramping up the running until I got to like 2 to 3 miles, but everything else has been exactly the same, and I've been pretty consistent with it, especially since like January. And so A, I feel like it's just time for a change, and B, it feels like I'm doing a little bit too much. Like when I was running less, it felt like a really good amount because I could get in the gym and get out in like an hour, but now that I'm running longer, it's just taking longer. And so I want to restructure it a bit. I want to write in my chiropractic exercises into my workout programming so that I get them done every day. Didn't spend money on a chiropractor to not end up doing my exercises and not get the results that I'm paying for. So right now, step 1 is just kind of trying to figure out like the big picture of how I'm going to balance everything and still do enough resistance training to maintain my muscle mass, but then really lean into prioritizing quality movement and adding in exercises and things that are going to promote that, and then obviously leaving enough time to do the running that I want to do. Thankfully, my running is not going to increase anytime soon. I'm just gonna be chilling at the 2 to 3 miles, so now I know like how long that's gonna take, so I'm gonna rebuild everything kind of around that. I thoroughly enjoy writing workout programs because to me, it's just like a fun little puzzle. Because when I write a workout program, I don't just like write a workout program. Like I think through every single exercise, how it relates to each exercise within the workout, how each workout relates to the other workout, and also how the new workout program relates to the previous workout program. So like I design everything to be very like complementary. Honestly, I thought that's how everyone did it until I bought some other people's workout programs, and I was like,
This doesn't even make sense.
like why? But I digress. I'm very excited to be writing myself a new workout program. I don't know how it's gonna look, but anyway, it's gonna be a fun adventure. So before I get ready for bed, I'm gonna do my gratitude journal for the day for 35 Thrive to write down 3 things that I'm grateful for. One of them today is gonna be you guys. I am very grateful for you. Like honestly, if it weren't for YouTube and being able to have this platform to explore and discover my own passion for health and fitness, I don't know where I would be, but I wouldn't be here. So I really do genuinely appreciate each and every one of you who click on my videos. Even if it's just one video, even if this is the first video you're watching, I appreciate you. Even if this is the last video of mine you'll ever watch, I appreciate you. I'm grateful for you. So that's one. Gonna think of 2 more, and then I'm gonna get ready for bed. I tell you, like this 9 hours of sleep thing, I think is gonna be a game changer for so many people, because I don't think you realize how much sleep you need until you give yourself enough time to get as much sleep as you need. If there's one thing that I struggle with when it comes to health and fitness, it is an optimized circadian rhythm. I lean towards going to bed very, very, very late. And usually I can sleep as long as I need to. Like I make my own schedule, so it's fine and I get as much sleep as I need. But sometimes it limits the amount of daylight that I see per day, and it can make filming difficult if I want to film in the daylight. So I've been working on like reeling that back in, and I've moved my average bedtime about 2 hours earlier, which for me huge. But now I have to move it an hour earlier so that I can guarantee that I'm giving myself 9 hours to sleep. So this is just piling on an extra change to a change that I was already doing. So a bit of a struggle, but it's gonna be fine. I'm also committed to this change in my sleep schedule. I'm going to bed early tonight, so that means I need to start getting ready for bed soon. Oh, and you know what? I'm gonna take my sleep supplements tonight. This is just what's on my desk right now, so this is just what I'm gonna take. I have my Ned sleep blend, and then I love pairing that with the Symbiotica sleep blend. I swear I'm not just
Trying to put as many Symbiotica products in this video as possible just because it's sponsored.
their sleep blend is freaking phenomenal, and I keep it on my desk so that I take it before I go to bed. And it tastes like chocolate. Like, what could be better? Anywho, do make sure you go check out Symbiotica and use my code FIT20 for 20% off. And if you're gonna be doing 35 Thrive with me, let me know. When you sign up, you get a link to join the Facebook group. Make sure you join that group because I will be in there posting, chatting with y'all. It's gonna be a good time. If you liked this video, please do give it a big thumbs up. It really does support me and my channel. I really genuinely appreciate it. Please share this video with your friends, your family, your gym buddies. If you want to see more content from me all about health and fitness, you can check it out over here. To see future videos, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the little notification bell so you get notified when I post a video, and I will see you very soon. Bye.